Good afternoon. Once again, we're preparing ourselves for Open Studios. I'm here with the talented Bob Barthelmes. Thank you for welcoming us this morning.
Well, thanks for coming.
Of course, of course. So I'm excited about the weekend coming up in June. I know a lot of the people in the city of Peekskill are excited. So, Bob, I want to ask you, how long have you been doing what you do? I know that you have a lot of stuff behind us, which we're going to show the people at home, but how long have you been doing what you do?
Well, I started out, I think my mother told me I started out when I was 1 year old.
Oh, wow. So that's about 30 years
with
now?
With finger paint. I think I'm now the oldest artist in Peekskill, but...
Wow. That's awesome, awesome. So what inspires other artists earlier too? What inspires you? Because some of your art captures like moments of like actual people, you know, and things of the history of Peekskill. So what inspires you?
Well, I do a lot of painting from memory. I love painting my memories, which is a challenge, but it's a lot of fun. And for instance, this group of paintings right here is called Finktown. Mm-hmm. It's a series that I do that are my memories of growing up in that neighborhood in the eastern part of Peekskill.
Okay.
So there are now 35 paintings and of that area, which has changed a lot over the years. You know,
of course.
Shopping centers took a lot of all the small stores away, most of them anyway. And so anyway, I've been painting these for about 20 years. People, when I did the very first one, I was surprised at the reaction to it. People really liked it, you know. I thought it was a little bit corny, but but people love that, getting back to the old days, you know, and the way things were. Mm-hmm. So I've been doing them since then, and as a matter of fact, I'm working on a book right now, which should come out sometime in July, called Finktown.
And it captures moments of your memory of the history in the city of Peekskill.
There's also an introduction in it about the people that friends from those days, and some of them are still around.
So everybody at home, you say a lot of this is inspired by your memory, so I'm assuming in about maybe a year from now, I might be in one of those paintings?
There's a very good chance of that, maybe sooner than that.
So your involvement in Open Studios, are you excited about this weekend that's coming?
I always am. It's been going on for quite a few years now. And I love to have people come into the studio and like the stuff. They don't have to buy anything. That bothers me a little bit when they feel. I don't like people to feel like, oh, we got to buy something from this. No, it's okay.
Just come and enjoy the art.
I like to treat it as a museum, and let them come in. If they do want to buy something, that's fine too.
Feel free. Now we're not saying don't buy it. Now we're just saying come and love it too.
Exactly.
So with all of the new artists that are coming in Peekskill, does that motivate you even more to do more, or just to appreciate art more?
It's just nice to have. Other people going in the same direction.
Right.
I think that back in the 50s and 60s, when I first started out, I was an art director in the city, advertising and promotion. But at that time, I think there were probably 6 artists in Peekskill that established artists.
So you knew each other pretty well, probably, right?
I can name them all. Anyway, now what are there? 150, I think.
Yeah, probably even more than that. Probably even more than that.
Yeah.
The Peekskill Arts Alliance is just, a thriving organization. Everybody loves what they're doing in the community as well, too. So, and you're a part of the Peekskill Arts Alliance.
Oh, definitely. They do a great job. Great job.
Awesome. Now, another question I like to, as an artist, I like to ask, how often, or not how often, how long does it take you normally to finish a painting? Like, do you time yourself as like a deadline, or do you have an idea and you start on it sometimes and maybe come back a couple of days later? Like, do you ever have like a deadline where you just let it come from the heart and take how long it takes?
It depends on the series that I'm working on. Now, these take time because there's a lot of detail.
Of course.
I have to invent my own lighting because I'm not standing in the scene. I don't have a photograph to work from, so I have to pretend and invent.
And this one is really, you got like the shadows of each individual part of the painting, which is
we used to have cows in Peekskill, by the way.
Oh, jeez.
Wow. The villa what's now the villa in the woods was they had their own cows, they had their own pigs, and everything else. So they had 35 Holstein cows out there in the field.
And pigs.
But we played ball anyway there.
I can say I saw Pataki's farm. We had fruit. I didn't see any live cows walking around. So.
No, that's a thing of the past.
Yeah.
But you mentioned how long it takes and all of that. But other paintings you see here in the studio took a half an hour. This is probably 20 hours, 16 to 20 hours.
Wow.
But some of the quick things that I do outdoors are done very quickly. You have to, because light changes, and if you want to.
Of course.
Yeah.
So as an artist, I'm a musician, and
Right.
I put out a lot of songs and things. But there is always like one or two songs that I really, really, really love that I wrote. Do you have one or two paintings that you'll never ever forget, or that you'll always say these are my favorite ones of all I've done?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. It's hard to say because you have so much that you love.
I like all the Finktown stuff, but I do other things from memory. Just behind you over there is a painting that I did and within the last year. This is also a memory painting of when my wife and I were in a small town in France, and we didn't know it at the time, but there was they had an event there, which is individuals coming into that town to audition for the circus.
Oh, wow.
So we were walking around one evening at around 11 o'clock, and this girl, she was about 16 or 17, was practicing her tightrope act on in that park, in a big park. There were other people drinking wine over in. Yeah. There's Kay and I right there.
Toward it. Yeah, there you go.
Very few people spot that. Very good, very good. Anyway, so this is a memory that stuck in my mind. And oh, by the way, when she jumped down, it was only about 10 feet off the ground.
Okay.
When she jumped down, we clapped. And she bowed.
Oh, yeah? Unexpected free show.
So that really stayed with me, so that became a memory painting. Yeah.
That is awesome. That is awesome. So you are going to be out at Open Studios this June.
Oh, definitely. Yes, both days.
Awesome.
Sure.
So we're looking forward to it, man. And I like to give all artists an opportunity. Is there anything about your work that you've done that you'd like people to know that they may not know?
Huh. That's a hard one. I always get involved in the Finktown explanations because people don't know. They say,
right. So you know what?
Where is Finktown?
Let's go back over here. So you know what? Tell us. I guess we can end it with that. Tell us a little bit about where Finktown came from.
Okay, sure. Finktown. The name started back in the 1860s when a man named John Fink, after he returned from fighting in the Civil War, purchased land, when there were big estates in Peekskill, with farms, in the eastern end of Peekskill. Okay. He bought the land with his father-in-law, and they sold building lots to the individuals coming into Peekskill to work in the foundries, the iron foundries that we had. There were about 40 of them or more at one time. So they built houses on these lots, and they started calling the area Finkstown. Apostrophe S. and so
everything.
It evolved into Finktown, and it's still that. People my age think of it as that, but a lot of the young people that live there.
Right.
And it was a very interesting location when I was a kid because it was extremely diversified.
Right.
Really diversified, and with people, and they all got along together very, very well. There isn't anything quite like that feeling today, I don't think. But neighborhoods like that were common all over the Northeast, at least. In these Rust Belt towns, they were.
Just that feel-good energy. The closest thing to that is Peekskill Arts Alliance, I shall say.
It's true. So Peekskill, the way Finktown did, Peekskill has come back together in a larger sense, with the art community. Brought a lot of excitement into Peekskill, when things were getting slow back there in the 90s, and then the arts
started booming.
Yeah.
Well, listen.
The guy upstairs, Larry D'Amico, was probably the first artist to be a part of that movement. In Peekskill.
History. We're getting a history lesson and an art lesson. So I just want to say thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. And everybody at home, we hope to see you out there the weekend of June 2nd and June 3rd at the Open Studios event. Now, are you going to be at the kickoff party?
Absolutely.
There we go. So once again, thanks for your time, and we'll see you all that weekend. God bless and have a great afternoon.
Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This painting Andy did down at below the viaduct, at the old viaduct that crosses Central Avenue, where Route 9 crosses Central Avenue. That viaduct is now gone and replaced by the stone version. And this is the old firehouse, which was there for many, many years, and they tried to move it across the street, and of course, as everyone knows, it collapsed in the move.